has been at war with the president, claiming he's leading the most un-Trump state in America, California. So before I pack my bags and head west, please welcome Governor Gavin Newsom.
Good to be back. Good to see you, Diane. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So nice to have you here. Again, you've been here before.
Yes, and I'm a California girl born and raised, Inglewood, California born, so I'm really flattered and happy and, you know, excited, not flattered. What's that? Flattered. So I'm excited you're here.
So you've had a rather contentious relationship with Trump from the get-go.
Yes.
There have been a number of public feuds between the two of you, and at the State of the Union last week, Trump ramped up his attacks on your state yet again. Watch.
Yeah.
In California and other states, their systems are totally out of control, costing taxpayers vast and unaffordable amounts of money. The state of California passed an outrageous law declaring their whole state to be a sanctuary for criminal, illegal immigrants. A very terrible sanctuary with catastrophic results.
Nancy's face, says it all.
And he can't even say it. And Nancy's face says it all. But look,
Look at her. Governor,
says it for all of us.
does he hate, I want to ask you something. Does he hate California because he knows that you're there and Nancy's there
Adam
and
Schiff.
Schiff, all his enemies are there?
But moreover, because he lost by 4+ million votes in the last election. We are the most un-Trump state in America. We're also the most diverse state in America. 27% of our state foreign-born. And more important than anything else, we're also prospering together across every conceivable difference. $21.5 billion operating surplus. Record low unemployment. 1 out of 7 jobs in America since 2011 have come from the state of California. Advancing our low-carbon green growth. I can go on. It's hard for him. And we're also suing him. 67 lawsuits. And we're beating him across the board over and over and over again.
I can't stand it.
Can't take it.
Diversity is working for California.
Diversity is our strength. We don't tolerate it.
And
we
New
celebrate.
York also. We're very. We have that here.
But it's America's coming attraction. And we say about our state, New York, you can claim the same. The future happens here first.
I think you sound like America's coming attraction.
I don't know about that. I think the folks you have this week will be America's coming attraction. But I want folks to have a frame of optimism. You know, if you don't like the way the world looks when you're standing up, stand on your head and go local. Because remarkable things are happening at the local level, cities and counties and at the state level. It's not just about Washington, D.C. And California is proof positive, 5th largest economy on planet Earth. A nation state with a population larger than 163 nations, prospering with progressive values, proving, not asserting, these principles work at scale. Trump is scared of California.
Yeah, that's true. And I think California's been labeled a state of resistance against Trump, and I think it's because of those 60 lawsuits, more than 60, I think, at this point, that you filed against the Trump administration. Some of the issues are immigration, environmental regulations, and others. But do you worry that this war with Trump could possibly backfire? Because we know he holds a grudge. And we know he retaliates. In New York, we don't have global entry anymore. He suspended global entry applications for the moment.
That's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
Hey, I'm not going to turn into Lindsey Graham. I'm going to stand on principle. I'm going to fight for our diverse populations, fight for women's rights, fight for the environment, fight for my kids and grandkids. We're going to stand up to a bully. We're not going to capitulate. We're going to do the right damn thing. We're not waking up every day trying to put a crowbar in front wheel of his agenda. But at the same time, if he attacks our folks, we're going to have their backs, and they need to know that. And the fact is, again, we're winning. We're not losing. And so, you know what? Damn it, we need people to stand up on principle. We need people to fight for cause.
I don't know. Why don't they, Governor? Why don't they?
Because they legitimately are scared. They're scared of a damn
Lindsey Graham is that scared?
He's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment.
Mitch McConnell?
He really is.
How about Mitch?
And Mitch McConnell's dangerous, not just an embarrassment.
He's dangerous because of the power he has.
Lindsey Graham would have lost a Republican primary had he not made up with.
So what?
That's just
so what?
Well,
get another
it's about
job.
Power.
To get another job, they just throw their ethics and morals right out the window for a job.
Well, in order to stay in this optimistic mind frame, let's talk about the future.
Let's do it.
Democratic primary.
Yes.
Okay, so Super Tuesday
is.
I know. You tell me. You had endorsed. You had endorsed Kamala Harris, your senator. March 3rd is Super Tuesday, is the primary in California. You've kind of been keeping your powder dry since Kamala dropped out. Anything you'd like to tell us today? Anybody you like?
I
important
like our
week.
chances in November as long as we unify. And look, I was just at the National Governors Association, and this is not comfortable for me to say, but talking to all the governors the last 48 hours, there's deep anxiety that we're not publicly communicating around what is potentially emerging as a Bernie Sanders ascendancy with the Elizabeth Warren wing of the party and the prospects, as you were mentioning in the last segment, that Bloomberg moves into that, and you're in a place of civil war. It's not my point of view per se, but it is the anxiety that is, I think, spoken very much, universally spoken, but not publicly yet. And so we'll see what happens.
So what is your anxiety?
My anxiety is...
I'll tell you, my anxiety is that Trump gets another 4 years.
Another
That's
4
my
years.
anxiety,
That's everybody's.
fundamentally, yeah. So look, I mean, the good news is the Democratic Party is united with that principle in mind and with that frame. So that's where I'm ultimately confident, but there is some legitimate anxiety as this thing drags on. And look, in the state of California, we're already voting right now. We do early voting.
Right.
We're very inclusive in terms of our outreach to get folks to vote. So that's happening as we speak. You got 14 contests on Super Tuesday. It's about a third of all the delegates. That will be ultimately determinative. Right now, it's about momentum, it's about energy, it's about mind share. But in the next few weeks, we'll be...
I want to talk about Squad. You guys heard me talk about Squad earlier, right? And it's all about the Squad. So you have said at this desk that you have no interest in being the vice president of this country.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no, that came out of left field.
Yes, but I'm sorry, the president. The president.
Yeah, good. That,
you said
too.
The president.
Yeah.
You
Right
said
now.
president.
Right now, yeah.
But I have to ask about the Squad, which is vice president. Would you be interested in that? Because I think you would be kick-ass. Can I say that? I really do.
You can say that. But I'm not going to... Look, I get to represent the fifth largest economy in the world.
Yeah,
I
that's
get to
my
be governor
state,
of California.
and that is my state, and I love my state, but I'd be willing to give you up.
I love that. No, it's very sweet of you. Honestly, I have no interest in that, and I love my job. I really do love my job. I've been there only 1 year. We're doing some pretty extraordinary things. I want to prove, again, there's this notion, this assertion that Democrats can't govern. You can't be fiscally prudent. We don't have the ability to communicate an economic message.
That's not true.
And we're
Done it in
doing that.
California.
The Democratic
It's not true.
presidents
We wanna
always
prove
have
it.
a surplus, and then they hand it to Republican presidents, and they get a
cleaning up their
deficit.
mess
And then
over
they
and
have a
over and
Democrat
over.
come back and cleans it up again.
true.
Yeah.
People need to read and understand that stuff.
No, exactly. And
Well,
I'd say...
I'm putting in my bid for you to be the vice president. So all of you people that are on that debate stage, fighting it out, duking it out, Democrats, when it's time to really go down and there's one man or woman standing, I think this would be a good one right now.
Okay.
And I got
Thank
my
you.
new campaign consultant.
It was just great to see you again.
It's great to be with you
Yes.
guys.
Thanks to Governor Gavin Newsom. We'll be